Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Valerie Thorson, the Director of Music here at First Congregational Church and the instructor of organ at the University of Akron. And I'm delighted to welcome you all this afternoon to the church on this snowy early evening in December to Mario Buchanan's junior organ recital. This is not a required recital. Mario just really wanted to play a recital. Technically, he's not required to play a recital until his senior year. But he wanted to do it. I encouraged him to do it. And I think that when you hear him play, you'll be glad that he decided to do this. It's a delight to teach him, a great joy. And I'd like to make sure you've all silenced your cell phones, pagers, beepers, anything that makes noise, because we're going to be recording this concert. So, without further ado, please join me in welcoming Mario Buchanan.
It's a fun instrument, isn't it? And I want to thank all of you for coming out tonight on this really snowy day. I don't know if it's still snowing out, but I'm really excited to be doing this recital. That first piece you heard was a piece of Dietrich Buxtehude, who was during the Baroque era and was considered, we think of him as German a lot of times in just musicians, but actually he's Danish and from Denmark. We don't know much about his early life, unfortunately. We know that he did organ study with his father, and he moved then to Lübeck. And when he moved to Lübeck, he was there for most of his life until his passing. And seeing how we don't know much of his music, and we don't know a lot of where it came from, this is one of the pieces, this toccata, that is one of the most ambiguous pieces out there of Buxtehude. It's about, I had to go through about 5 or 6 different editions to look for a good edition, and every single one of them differed in some way, shape, or form. Why that is because we only have about 1 or 2 pieces of Buxtehude in his original hand. Everything else was copied from Bach, was one of them, Handel, other composers. So we know, I mean, there's about 128 surviving works of his, but a lot of his music really is not found or has been burned from fires, and it's just a joy to play his music because I think it's really, really fun. Next, we go into 3 pieces on the Advent tune, Nun komm der Heide Heiland. Come Now, Savior of the Nations. The first one is by Buxtehude, who was a master improvisator, as you can tell from that piece. He actually would have to improvise on the chorale tune from both the beginning of the chorale and the end of the chorale when it was sung. Then we go into Hugo Dissler, who lived about 34 years, unfortunately. He was born in Nuremberg and went to the Leipzig Conservatory, taught there, played organ, and he made a huge wedge into the choral aspect with a lot of his choral works. Very, very influenced by Bach and Buxtehude. That's why one of his pieces is only a piece for string quartet and for orchestral, is a harpsichord concerto, which is devilishly difficult. And the Nazis were taking over during that time period, and unfortunately, he was being called to join the Nazi Party, and he decided at 34 that he should commit suicide because he said, and I quote, "It was a choice between my God and the Nazis, and I chose my God." So I hope you enjoyed these 3 pieces.